noodles, so I wanted to make sure that I made those before I came on here live. Nothing against the audience, but you know, I like to try to take care of her when I can. So now she's good, she's eating lunch, and we can get to a discussion here. So welcome in, everybody. Mark, I appreciate you joining the classes. I look forward to that as the venture gets closer. I appreciate you very, very much. Gonna be a fun time, I think. Gonna be well, not a fun time. Maybe not for some, but a good learning. It's so murky behind. It's so like, maybe I should block that. It's so like dark. I think after a while that might get a little annoying. Maybe that's better. That make it a little bit better. Unless it doesn't bother anybody, you tell me. Would you rather have it like that, or would you rather me open it? Because it got pretty dicey. I don't know, you guys tell me. I don't mind having it open in the back. Kind of makes you look like you're looking out through a vortex or something. So maybe you like it better like that, which, you know. But anyhow, welcome in. A lot to talk about. With XRP, yeah, that's the problem. You can't see outside now. If nobody matters, then let's bring the outdoors back into view. I'd rather see the outdoors myself. Oh, gotta get that one out of the way too. So yeah, we'll bring the outdoors back into view. But right now for XRP, for a lot of this market, we are dealing with a bit of, what's the best word to say? Flat, rolling over, not doing exactly what we would have hoped for if we want to have a continuation up and out. Like, there's many words that I can think of. None of them make me feel good. I'm still optimistic, but, you know, it's a weird feeling. This optimistic is a weird feeling because we know we know we're stuck in a bad spot right now, and we need to break out of some of these resistance. It's like every time we come over there, we can't really do it. We can't really do it so far. So we're still stuck in this little, you know, when you're in a bear market, which I know it's hard for some to believe, but it really is. Here, let me fix this. It really is, because this was set up for my other live. That's better. Now I'm actually looking at you guys instead of like staring off like, hey, where the hell are they at? But when you're in a bear market, you're always in this progressive downturn. No matter how much you go up, it always comes down farther. You know, it's always the downward consolidation until you break out and then you put yourself back into a bull market. Nope, no haircut. I just, I can do it in slightly different ways when I, you know, have it tied behind. But no haircut. No haircut now, or none in the foreseeable future if I'm being honest. Not going down that road. But for a point of reference, it's Monday, January 12th, 2026 at 12:44 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And XRP is currently at $2 and it was $2.06.5 cents. And everything in the market right now is we can't tell. See, this isn't a 4-hour candle where it's building the reversal candle, but now it went up, it comes back down, and now as long as we can hold, in my opinion, so for XLM it'd be about 21.8 cents. If XLM holds 21.8 cents, this is a common built structure that happens on a reversal. And for XRP, it's like it's a whole candle ahead. So for XRP, I mean, we don't want to come down much farther than we're at right now. I really don't want to come down much farther than it's at right now, because I really need it. And this is the back test in the micro. The extreme micro, like I mean in the daily today. We're back testing and trying to hold that $2.06 area. So we do not want to come back below that area. Between me, you, everybody else watching, we don't want to come back below that area. Let me see if I turn this a little bit if it helps. Probably not. Because it's the way it rotates into my into this, unfortunately. What if I angle it slightly different? No, up, no. Nope, we're just doomed. But if I go this way, at least we can see, yeah, at least you can see that stuff. That's better. I'll take it. Make it a little bit more visually pleasing. Here's the line. Lime tree to the side. No, just make a little bit of visuals. No, that $2.10 seems to be a resistance wall of hell right now. And that's a problem. MQ. That's a big problem. XRP is a $2 stable coin. My wife makes fun of it. Well, it's a good thing she's talking about it in 2026. She would have made fun of it for being the sub $1 stable coin up until last year. Because the whole time I was on YouTube until it finally broke out in January, or this November of last year, or not last year, in 24, it was always under 50 cents. The majority of the time we talked about XRP was sub 50 cents, which is so crazy. So at least she's talking about a 200% higher. What was that? Something came across my screen. A floating heart. Thank you so much for that. Who sent the floating heart? Just send it. Thank you so much for the floating heart. I appreciate the support. It helps support my, not just my program, but it allows me to be here more. The better I do as a brand, the more I can be here. And it's, you know, it's one of those things. You give, you get, and you get, you give. And it's a perpetual loop. So I appreciate everybody who pays it forward. I really do. Let's see. Outside of the charts, what can we talk about? Okay, so two big stories if you're looking for a possibility of pushing forward. So not just Tom Lee, who is the largest holder of Ethereum in the world with Bitmine. They bought more Ethereum today. But also Michael Saylor with MicroStrategy, or Strategy, or whatever the hell they call themselves these days. They bought more Bitcoin today. And you know, they're controlling, they're honestly controlling the bulk majority, and I believe they're all entities probably of our, you know, our own government, but let's not get into that. But they bought today, so that's the classic story. They don't care where the price is going, especially Ethereum in the very short term, because they can see something that's, I believe what's going to happen is with this Clarity Act, and I don't think it's bullish for crypto long term, but I think it's going to offer a unique opportunity for the markets to pump. And then maybe if it's not meant to have everybody's capital in as it is, that disappeared. Wow. That's crazy. Gotta love YouTube. Gotta love YouTube hindering what you're trying to do. I don't know why that is. That kind of sucks. Yeah, I was looking on this and I have that. It's all this crap. Yeah, I guess Icon on Julie's. Just making sure. Yeah, I can chat. I can see you, Tom. Yes, 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 yes. I'm glad that you can see in chat. That's awesome. The gift box, it's next to where you can chat. There's just a box. There's a box. I can't show you because I don't have it imitating my screen when I'm on this mode. It just looks like a little, like a present. Looks like a little present. And then when you do that, it's like the, what do they call them? Rubies or jewels or whatever they are. Yeah, it's got a bow on it. Yep. With a bow. I didn't do any. No, I didn't do anything different on here. I wish I did, but I didn't. It's kind of one of those things that happens. Thoughts on XPR chart? I haven't looked at it in a minute. Let me take a look. It's a good question. So I guess the bottom line is here is don't get too, don't get too pushed in the wrong direction. Like Bitmine's up 2.59% today, and MicroStrategy up 2.19%. And this could very simply be because MicroStrategy looks like it's on a big inverse head and shoulders. Like I'm almost considering, and I know it might be a stupid idea, I'm almost considering, because they're both on inverse patterns, I've been considering, and this would be the time to do it before it breaks out, or if there's another breakdown, investing some into each of those companies. As we know, we're going to have whenever the upturn seems like it's going to happen in crypto. But yeah, he's not talking about tomorrow for it to go to 20,000. He's talking about a perpetual upswing that happens over a series of decades, more than likely. But if you're patient, today it's at 3,000. 2 years from now, it's at 6,000. Then it's at 9. Then it's at 15. Then it's at 20. That's what he's talking about. So I think I introed the time here, didn't I? Did I do the intro for time's sake? Or at least drop a time marker? It's a wild price target, but it's not out of the realm. I did not. So, good afternoon. It's 12:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Monday, and it's, January 12th, 2026. We're just having a discussion about XRP, other things that tie into crypto, investment possibilities, things like that. And understanding that we just did a live and the other horizontal, so our reach is hindered, but no doubt it still allows us a chance to talk. And I like to do this second one sometimes because I don't know how my son's going to be when he gets out of school. He's got a little, with his G-tube, he's got a little granulation, but it's nothing bad. It's actually getting better when Julie put a little bit of stuff on it. So we'll see how it goes. We had it one time when it got really bad, but we had to get a cream, and it works. So hopefully it's not going to take that. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, silver's it's up over $86 right now. It's honestly one of those sites that we may never be able to talk about something like this again with an asset class. We are in the perpetual swing of a real change. And it's a real shuffle when it comes to the world equity classes. It's a real shuffle here. Anthony Venegas, thanks for the floating heart. How cool is that? 2 floating hearts in the live. I like seeing that cool stuff. Cool stuff. Man, there's one that I keep looking at right now, and just where we're at on the chart, at some point here, Fortuna Silver Mines is gonna have a 25% day. It's gonna. I feel it. I feel like it's getting so close to just a big day here. Like, whew. I can't even describe it. I just feel like there's a day coming here, and I don't know when, I don't know how. But I do feel like there's a big day. Not just for that, but B2 Gold as well, I think is lagging. But the miners, man, when they do these evaluations, please don't forget about the miners. Please don't forget. But here, real quick, real talk while I'm going to XPR and taking a look at this chart. If you are somebody who is trading XRP, if you're trading crypto, a risk asset, there's other risk assets beside crypto, but if you're a risk asset trader, the only real way to make money in the sector, and I hate to say it, is you got to take risk when other people aren't willing to, when it looks murky, when everything looks like it's down and out, when nobody wants to buy. You've got to somehow take advantage, and you've got to be willing to buy in those moments. You have got to be willing to take advantage in those exact moments when a lot of people are like, nope, not doing it, can't do it, won't do it, I'm done. When the psychological warfare has gotten so strong that, you're kind of on an island. Bought some miners last week after locking in profits. They're doing well again. They sure are, Mrs. Stott, and I'm proud of you for locking in profits. If we get profits like that, me and my brother were discussing, like, when do we pull at least our initial investment back? So, I took a little bit, but not nearly what I should have. The only amount I took out was enough to where I could do the traditional IRA for this year, the 7,500 allotment. I like to do that every year. It went up from 7,000 to 7,500. So, but we're trying to find the time to do it when it's the right time, and it very well is the right time right now. I mean, you could theoretically, and that's what we would talk about on the phone today. Like, are we at that time? Like, should we? But we're trying to wait this out for the majority of them. You know, we're trying to get to the valuation of Q3 is what I want to say. We're trying to plan for the valuation of Q3 when, you know, they're forced to take all of this out of the ground. Yep. Warren Buffett always says take away your initial investment after 1x. Absolutely. And I still need to take a decent amount to even get a yes. And it's true because then you ride that investment and you just keep it going. Like, he never closed the other investments out. He would just ride them out. But he had that money back. So then he's like, all right, I've got this asset class covered. Got my money back. And now I never watch that asset class again. I don't care if it goes up and down, left or right. I'll see you in 10 fucking years. I'll just collect the dividends if, you know, and that's the way they went. And then they had it reinvest the dividends and things like that. So then after 10 years, then you look at it again and you go, holy shit. Like, we're not even talking we're not even in the same stratosphere as we were at. And then you start looking at the movements and like, whoa, I was up to here and way down to there and into here. And what the hell happened over there? How did we dump there? And what the hell pump happened there? So, XMR, I'm so mad at myself. I used to cover XMR because it was my privacy token of choice at the time. And it was at $107. And we had this whole thing drawn out on XMR. And now it's well over 500. And our goal was, we thought it could be a token that could get over 1,000. We really did. Because it was one of those, Monero, it's a privacy token that actually, it's one of the ones that is respected. It has real utility behind it, and it has a real backing. It's not bullshit like Zach and all the other ones that get a pump and dump all the time and then their creators leave. Oh, I'm so, that's the one that I used to look at instead of Quant and be like, I would rather have this instead of Quant just because it's the, Yep, there's a few I'll never let myself live down. But that's because I got caught in the miners. The whole time to buy Monero was looking at it from January into April and looking for the opportunity between that 6-month gap. And there was some, and then it jumped real quick. Nope, not just talking about just the way it works in the, you know, when you talk investing and stuff, like what most people say. But yeah, it's definitely. But I mean, I could make a commercial for all the what ifs and the where is and the whys. But the one thing we can say is we stuck with something that most people would have never stuck with, but did it at the right time with XRP. To where now when we're watching this, what some would say, this pile of shit, this unmotivated, ungainable, no way to light a fire. It'll never break over these levels. It's the majestic rug puller of all swaddles and scam artists, and this is what people talk about. So, you know, it's the majestic fucking tame. Yeah, a lot of people tell me, like what I gather out of what people say is I just picture people sitting there going, this majestic pile of dog shit. Everybody's telling me it's going to $7,000. I thought it was going, damn it. You know, and I picture people doing that instead of being like, holy crap, I can't believe I bought it at 30 cents and now it's at $2. Like, if I could only do that a few more times, Jesus. You know, but instead we're like, 30 cents to $2, what the hell? It's not $700, $589. I can't even hardly buy a cup of coffee for a fucking token. So took a short on Zill, was gonna post chart. It's behind. I took 30%. Oof. Nice. So, with all the stuff that's coming out, how they called out the SEC, good stuff to talk about here. Do you think crypto is going to find a way up, or do you think this is where it finds its rug down? Just asking. It's an interesting dynamic that is that's happening right now, and this could be good. Absolutely, I also ordered and you can post a video. Does it let you post videos? I can't remember. I should honestly let people post stuff. But I don't know. Define, that's up to you, my friend. You are the foremost thuggish assured authority figure, as I may say. The best possible way. Anyhow, if you guys are tuning in, you might want to listen to the SEC being brought up with colluding. So basically what is being talked about is the SEC colluding. Let's see. But we got to find the crypto because there's a long list of what the SEC's in trouble for. Yeah, we should look at the idea. Maybe we should just have a place for, just a post for the videos. Somebody I think just said that I seen when I was trying to say this. One place for videos. I think that's a good idea if we do it. We would just have a subcategory for posting videos. I think that's the way we do it. Yeah, because we can't post videos. I forgot. I mean, I can post my YouTube stuff, but let me so can I get some information on the SEC being charged for manipulating or colluding with the stock market and crypto market, like being brought up on charges?
While there isn't a single case where the SEC as an entire agency has been charged with a crime like a regular defendant, there have been several recent high-profile legal rebukes where judges have accused...
Well, not charged, but there's stuff coming about it. It's going to be so hard to find it. Oh, for stable coins, the ones, I mean, if you're looking for stable coins to keep a stable price, I mean, RLUSD, at least for the current time, USDC. Forget Tether, even though Tether's not going anywhere. I'm just telling you, Tether's not going nowhere. Not yet. Until they're ready to really break up some things, the exchanges need Tether like the banks need the printing press. It is what it is. So, but I would say RLUSD and then USDC. Personally, if you're a fan of Ripple and you believe in what they're doing like I do, in that regard, being their own bank and doing this other stuff, RLUSD is about as safe as you're going to get. Because that's basically their collateral that they hold for their own liquidity. Plus, by virtue, if you use RLUSD, XRP is used as the gas token, and by virtue, you'll help our price go up. You'll help our price go up, and we need it. We're starting to feel like Tom Hanks and Castaway. We're out here on a friggin' island. And nobody's coming to find us. Maybe a bad comparison. But it is what it is. But anyhow, somebody said XRP, or XPR, and I forgot to look. It's been a minute since I looked at XPR. Definitely bounced off its breakout nicely, no doubt about it. It came back down over the past several weeks, which it needed to. It's within an ascending, what looks like almost an ascending, it almost looks like wedge-ish. But this could be a bullish continuation. Bounce off the support structure at 0028. And now if we did end up pushing up, we would have to meet the in the weekly again at some point, which we are rounding up. We're almost back into the area. But, you know, we need to come back up to 005 and meet the 200. But the next resistance, if you just go support resistance, you're looking at continuation up with XPR, and that should get you back up to 0083. That's good. And it's built a unique inverse head, and now trying to build the right shoulder out on this ascending triangle, what it looks, or an ascending wedge, more than likely, because you have contracting resistance, and then you have uptrending. Well, actually, I could make. Well, no. Well, depends how I would do this. I could make a case. Nah, you'd have to do it like this because you do have that ascending support. But it almost could be a flat top. Yeah, it might be more of an ascending triangle. Which is very bullish if that's the case. I will have to wait and see. Honestly, it doesn't look horrible. Can there be very volatile swings in the weekly of like 30% each way? Oh, yeah. And then it can be, yes. There absolutely can be, is the best thing I can say about that. But that's not the make it or break it moment, guys. Right now, you're only worried about XPR if it gets below 0025. So there's a lot of room on that overextended area. But it started this uptrek on December 23rd, and it's got a tap on the 23rd. And now a firm tap on the first week of January in the weekly. That's a phenomenal movement right there. Now in the weekly, it's trying to push back up. A couple nice candles here, engulfing to the top side here on this weekly. Hasn't fully engulfed, but it's attempting to. But very minimal downside movement. It hit it from the middle of the candlestick too, which is nice to see. So yeah, optimism for sure, just like in the rest of the market. It's just, we've got to take care of business. And XRP, unfortunately, in the weekly, after a nice volatile move last week, now one could argue that it's trying to put in a weekly reversal candle this week. Nobody wants to argue it. I don't even want to argue it. But that's what's trying to develop. So we have to make sure that we're not in the B wave down, because if we are, it's just a problem. And then people leave my audience and yada, yada, yada. They come back after, but, you know, it becomes a sad and lonely place when everybody leaves. But some people stay. Our core members stay because they have the foresight. You know, they have the fortitude. They have the guns. They have the ammo to stick around. I just wanted to do that one time. Somebody told me I should keep doing that, so I'm going to do it at least one time. So, just so they can't say that after the live. We had a nice workout today, too. Nice lifting session today. Felt good, actually. I can't wait for the summertime when my tent's, like, real hot when I go back out there, so it's more like you'll sweat it out, too. I can't help but contemplate a day that they rug USDT in, and doing so wipe out every trading platform that relies on it as a settlement mechanism. That's why I need to make sure if you're on an exchange that at least has Fireblocks so you have a footprint. But if you're using Fireblocks, you can't use a no KYC exchange because then you got no proof. So, you know, you better be on one that at least has your, you know, your identity. But yeah, you'd want to be on something with Fireblocks. Why not American stable? Why we have USDT? Why is ROUSD getting snubbed? I don't know. And the ironic part of that is Ripple made up a very large amount of it basically kept USDT in business. It did like 1/4 of its transactional volume when it would move its stuff around. It's so crazy when you look at it. And it's such a large percentage of USDC as well. But a very large amount of USDT. So, again, I'm just watching the market. Like, when I have all this volatility to the downside with crypto, I have all this volatility to the upside with the miners. So it's like, I don't know what to say. And one side it's tugging at me one way, and at the other side it's like, it's all a glorious day. But you can't understand it unless you're on both sides of it. And then even the US dollar sitting there going, everybody thinks I'm about to break down here, but we have our last chance. Tom keeps talking about the last chance on this inverse head and shoulders. And how we put in a very strategic inverse left shoulder, double inverse head, inverse right shoulder. Could this be the time where we get some volatility? Because remember, gold and silver never goes up. The dollar just becomes devalued. If the dollar by some miracle goes up here and gains, let's see what percentage we're talking about here, in a best case scenario. And I'm talking about, oh my God, they did everything they could. They took everything out the playbook. You're talking about a 4% move, and it would be by some miracle, but that's what it looks like to be set up. Which is 4%, which is 103.046 in the DXY. So if they did something crazy, which we already know, they're printing money. So if they put it into all the bond and equity markets, they very well could push the dollar market. Artificially, of course, but that's why you're seeing, and if you want to look at my phone, that's what you're seeing here. That would be the wrong way. But see, it might be backwards, but see the inversion? You got shoulders, head, and shoulders. And it's building at a very high time frame. Well, that's the daily, but you can put it in the weekly, and you can see the build. In the weekly time frame, you can see the build, and it really looks like it's set up here. Let me circle the other side. I don't know why it's not circled. But you can see the right side is formed here. So if that's the case, so it's kind of built out here now. So if that's the case, I suspect it's not going to be a full rotation. Like everybody thinks we're just going to get this whole capital flip and then gold and silver is done. I don't believe that's the case. But what I do think is that we're going to come into a consolidation that we don't expect. And today we're up 7%. We're at $85.65. We got up to $86, I believe. What was the highest silver hit, so I can remember from my own personal record? The highest silver ever got on record. $86.26 approximately. That's incredible. Hey, we can see behind us. That's awesome. Aww. It's because it's bouncing off of me. Look at that. Once I moved out of the way, you guys could see. It was somehow the way I was looking. For one split second, you got to see it. Oh, I know. We got a big old bear flag. We got a big ass bear flag. Depends the exchange. You're gonna get the same. You should get the same conversion on ROUSD. But for the ease of simplicity, depending on exchange, usually USDC is the go-to choice, just because most of the exchanges, the tier 1 ones have it already there. But some of them have ROUSD, and it's it's that you're gonna get a 1-to-1. So we're so close to $1,000 for 10-ounce bars. I know, it's fucking ridiculous. That's the scary thing. I remember buying 10-ounce bars for it doesn't even seem right, but I remember buying 10-ounce bars for $160. And then if you added the fee, it was like $100 and maybe $80 or $90, because you'd have to pay a $3 over when it got to those ridiculous times. So yeah, now you look at it, and for a 10-ounce bar, it's like just doing it at face value is $850 something. Like, it's insane. I remember being like, oh my God, it's costing a lot when it was $230 and $260. Now it's $830 or $860. Oh my God. It's so weird. What's stable? I mean, for the time being, USDC or ROUSD. But I would probably say, just for the time being, as we're in this era, USDC has a proven history. ROUSD we like. But if you're looking for security and you don't want any bullshit on the exchanges, and don't with liquidity stuff that we just don't know because we don't have a 10-year track record of this stablecoin, you go with USDC until told otherwise if you're looking for a stable dollar. That's as simple as it goes. Everything, all markets, the fundamentals of getting just into trading. I'm gonna be putting an itinerary, and I'll share it with everybody when I drop it. But it literally starts from the most basic of market fundamentals. Like when we start, It's assuming that the people that, it's like when you go into a class, you might be the foremost expert and you're starting there and you know everything on day one. It's literally going to start from, this is how you start. Well, first it's going to go through the introduction of what all the differences. I can't explain it. You're going through market fundamentals from the very ground up, and not just the fundamentals, but you're going through how to trade the market. You're going through the way to identify the markets, but it starts at the most basic of fundamentals. So it starts with the most basic of basic, but there's going to be a followable sheet here, just like in a class. So I can't exactly tell you exactly how it's going to start. That's something you're going to have to find out in the class, but it's going to start as if you have no idea how to trade and you want to know how to read a market. And you don't care what market it is. This doesn't have to just do with crypto. This is all markets equally. It's a basic understanding of market that you're going to be able to not just trade crypto. You're going to be able to trade commodities if you want, or oil, or you're going to be able to trade the stock market or whatever. And to the breast, you're going to be able to read a chart. And it's going to take a long time, because it takes a long time to learn. But if we end up doing this for a couple of years, let's say, and people are really, if it's 10 people for the whole time and we get new people along the way that, and now here's the thing, after the first month or the first 2 days, you don't even have to be there live. So it's not just for live classes. You don't have to be there live. There's going to be a running database. But every time we do an hour, which might turn into an hour and 15 minutes, I don't know. But it's trying to be more set like a real class. Like we're trying to not cram too much in one session, and we're only as good as the last student. We're only as good as the person who knows what they know. So if somebody doesn't know something, we're going to repeat it the next time. And that delays it by a day. And some classes I've been in, my favorite classes when I was younger, yes, the teacher wanted to go through X, Y, and Z and get through the syllabus, but there was times when we got through a section, we were halfway through the year, and he's like, we're only through like the first 3 weeks of teachings, but then by the time we started to understand it, we were able to roll through the more progressive and advanced sections, because if you don't have a basic understanding, you might as well just pack it up. You know, market psychology is a big part of it. You know, you're going to go from the psychology to the technicals to the, you know, just the news part of it to the, it's even deeper than that though, because just to set up a basic account, just to go through all of that, most people don't know how to do in a real way. I am, but I don't know if I am incorrectly. I never get notifications. Yeah, no, for some reason you don't. That's why I always advise everybody who's in the Army, be in the Telegram. You get it in real time. Just so that if you don't get notified. But all you have to do is check. And I'm going to put out something. And I'll tell you guys when to check, or if you want to check every day. But you're going to notice, you go to the members only, but it's not going to be for the $9.99 category. It's only going to be for the class category or higher. So if somebody does the legendary category because they want to show above and beyond support, they by virtue get everything that's included in all the categories. So, everything I'm cute. Everything. But it starts off at the most, I can't even describe it. It's going to start off like we have no business being on a chart. We have no business. How do you teach a guy to lift weights if he's never stepped in a gym? How do you teach a guy to invest if he's never put $1 into a real investment? We do it together. We open our own investment strategy and we start doing it as the class goes. So we're going to have a dedicated discussion about not crypto, not gold and silver, but we're going to have a dedicated discussion about a equity class, like maybe a mutual fund if we decide on emerging markets together, if we decide on something that can compound, and we're going to do this year over year together if you guys want to. And we're going to put in so much a week while we're in this class to put a dedication towards our future. So maybe it's $50 a week as we're going through the class, but it's in an equity class. So the first thing we might start doing is, you might have thought we were going to do a crypto exchange. The first thing we might do is open up a trading app. So it would be of your choice. My personal one that I would be showing is JP Morgan trading app. But I could open up a Charles Schwab and have a brand new account. You know, there's other things we can do. So, you know, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing real learning on the fly. You know, when you go to school, sometimes it costs you money, right? But if you're not willing to learn you know, it's just, that's the way it goes. That's what we're going to do. And you're going to see me in a different light because I'm not going to be, hey, we're doing the markets and this. I'm going to be like a teacher. That's all I can say. Like, you're not going to get the same. It's going to be like if you know somebody in real life and then you get into their class and they don't even acknowledge like your friends at the time. That part.
You see your teacher in the store.
Or you see somebody in the store and you're all good buddy. Or like we're doing these and we're buddy. But in the class, it's like, you're not talking out of line. We're not doing any of that because there's ways for me to time people out and do things I need to do. So it's going to be a real learning experience. It's going to be something you're not used to. Who knows? Maybe I'll come in a suit and tie. No, I probably won't do that, but you know, it's going to be a lot of professionalism there, and I'm excited for it. I haven't been taking this lightly, so. So yeah, I invite everybody to the journey. It was either I was going to do this with my own community or somebody else's. Let's be honest. I talked to you. Have I not talked to you about analyst, Julie, and stuff like that? Because I've been getting offers through my email and stuff to at least take a phone call or come take an interview. And it's like, I would rather bet on my own brand because I know it's buildable. We're almost at 50,000 people. And I know it's buildable because of the support I get in Tom's Army. It's just time I got to put in more effort to do it in a different way. And this is the way. So, and I want to bet on all of us, not just myself. And then, oh, well, yeah, well, you know, maybe we do need to, well, you know, part of this experiment, unfortunately, is going to be how to purchase metals, too, you know. So we're going to have to come to terms when we have to, but maybe we'll do it on, like, something that's cheaper. But now, I used to love being like, hey, guys, we can buy 10 ounces of silver for $170. That's even at an all-time high, $6 a pound or something. I remember buying copper when it was like $1 a pound. And now it's $6 fucking. I remember when it was cheap. I even bought the copper 1 ounce rounds of the president, remember?
Yeah.
Whose was it?
Was it Trump?
Was it Trump? Because I bought Biden silver dollars, remember? Because they kept going on sale during the pandemic. For some reason, the Biden and Trump silver dollars, because Trump was in office, and then after the pandemic in 22, when Trump lost, after, you know, he was out, they had the Trump ones on sale, but then all of a sudden Biden, when he was in office, they kept going on sale, and the spot price be like 66% off of the overage over spot, you know, for the fee that they charge. So I bought a bunch of Biden ones. They're nice. Jewelry stores are definitely, they really want silver. A lot of them won't even sell you silver, even if they have it. Or they will, and it's $93. And it's like $10 over spot. No, thank you. It's already way too expensive right now. Hey, Mrs. Stott figured out how to upgrade to live classes. I am so excited. Now it's a party. Wear a tie and a top hat on the first day. This isn't OnlyFans. No, what, Julie?
Oh, I could find you. Yeah, sure.
You never know. Julie knows I like to be professional in some settings, so it might make me feel good to approach
Get you
each class.
monocle.
A monocle. Ah.
You can look like Mr.
Meta Shackle, that's great. If I ever started a brand of cannabis, you could call it Sunny Days with the D-A-Z-E
Oh, that'd be cute.
to honor the Sunny Days theme. That is so clever. Oh, that is so funny. Top hats used to make you crazy. I like this. I can't wait.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I gotta end this though, because me and Julie, it's getting closer to when we're gonna have to go do our stuff with T. So, but this has been great. This has been a great live. We ended up doing it for 44 more minutes. Was it really? Wow. Yeah, we have some grass outside right now because the sun is, it's melting the snow that we have left, unfortunately. We have some weird ice in spots, though, because of the way crap always melts and refreezes. But this has been nice. I don't know if my son allows it tonight. I will, you know, do my nighttime live if we have the chance. If not, God bless everybody. I really look forward to these classes, and it's twice a week. That's at minimum, but remember, sometimes as we get going, if we have to, some classes are Monday, Wednesday, Fridays in certain scenarios, you know, some are,
Some are
it just,
Tuesday, Thursday,
some are Tuesday. So classes, we'll determine what fits better, and we can almost do like a beta rotation, you know, for different strokes for different folks, so to say. But we have that ever-evolving database, so a lot of people, you don't have to be there in real time now, everybody. It'll have an ever-running database, so a lot of people are afraid to sign up because they can't be there in real time and they're afraid to miss it. It's all a running database. Carl, thanks for upgrading to the live classes. Julie, we're having a party now. We got like, what, 8 people now? I think there's 8 people signed up for the classes. That's more than enough. When I used to teach classes as a trainer, they'd always say if you can get to 10 or more, you've got a real class. Because then you have the real input. So we're on the right track, and I thank everybody for the vote of confidence. I won't let you down. I'm a majestic worker, and I'm very paranoid, so you're going to get the best out of me every single day, and maybe even with a monocle and a